This is homework 6, and we're taking a look at problem 16. Actually, this explanation will help you with problems 16 through 20, I believe. Alright, for this problem you're going to be matching a function to its approximate graph. You're going to want to get out your notes package from the lecture, week 3, and take a look at this chart. So what we find out about functions is that if the degree that the variable term is raised to is even, we're going to get a parabola shape, and it might have any number of turns at the vertex, the maximum or the minimum. But if the coefficient of that first term, that a, that squared term, is positive, then the two ends of the graph are going to turn upward. If that coefficient is negative, the two ends of that graph are going to turn downward. If the degree is odd, like something to the third power, fifth power, seventh power, etc., then you're going to get a function that'll have ends going in opposite directions with any number of turns in between possible. And if the coefficient of the first term is positive, then it slants upward from left to right. It starts with the downward end is on the left, the upward end is on the right. And if that coefficient of that first highest term is negative, then it's going to go downward from left to right. So let's look at the function you're given in problem 16. F of x equals negative 3 x to the third power minus x plus 4. So you identify the term with the highest exponent in it, and that would be this one. And a is the coefficient of that variable. So my a in this case is negative 3, and the n is the exponent on that highest term. So my n is 3. So let's take a look at our chart. We want to identify whether the a term is positive or negative, and ours is negative. And we want to identify whether that n term, that exponent, is even or odd. And ours is odd. So looking at this chart, our a is negative, so we're looking in this column here, and our n is odd. So here is the intersection of those two things. A is negative, n is odd. Our graph is going to look like this. It's actually going to look exactly like this without any turns in the middle because it's a cubic function. So it's going to go downward from left to right because of the negative, and it's going to have opposite ends because of the odd power. So we're going to choose letter D.